There is purpose in pain. And sometimes the purpose is the pain. You ever been in a situation to where you have a small little ailment? Let's say it's your knee. Your knee hurt a little bit when you wake up in the morning. It hurts a little bit, but you keep moving forward. Then maybe 2 weeks, it's hurting, you move forward. But then suddenly that pain is so intense that you say, today's the day I gotta go to the hospital. Then you go to the hospital and you find out that you didn't tore your ACL and now you require surgery. Some people will look at that and say, oh man, this, that, and other. But if it wasn't for the pain, you would have never went to the hospital. I'm using that as an analogy to get to where I'm going in here. I am where I am because of pain. The purpose in my life, I did not start walking in until I had to experience pain. I had to go through some stuff to get to where I'm at right now. There's so many people that found me on social media, namely TikTok. And this is why I want to talk about this. There's people that came across a video of mine, as the kids say, went viral. All of this shares, all of these views, whatever the case may be. And that's a blessing. But for some people, they will look at that and they would just think that I just popped up overnight, not understanding that for over 12 years, I have been saying and speaking the same type of message. Imagine this, for all of these years, thinking that you're doing something that doesn't matter. I had a vision on my life, but in order to get to where I'm going, I had to experience some pain. I started on Facebook writing. People said, oh, he's just writing all of these long statuses. Then I started doing the videos. Oh my gosh, these videos, you're doing these videos too long, ain't nobody watching. So this is what you have to imagine that I went through. The pain of getting up in the morning, trying to put out some positivity. And the people that know me, because namely your Facebook is your family and your friends, people that know you intimately. And for them to speak about me and say, he's just talking. There were so many times that I quit. There were so many times that I was like, why am I doing this? There's so many times that I said, you know what? Okay, I know in order to get to where I'm going, let me start talking about salacious stuff. Let me start going on here crashing out. That will bring you views. That will bring you attention. But morally, how do you feel? The problem is when you look at other people's lives, you think favor is in materialistic things. You can look at someone and they driving a Bentley, Mercedes. Shoot, you might think a Honda to you might be a Bentley, and they driving that model that you want, and you sit up there and you like, man, God has been good to them. But what you don't understand is, and I say this all the time, the devil is in the blessing business too. And when you reduce favor to materialistic things, you will never be happy, because all of us have a measure of favor because we all woke up this morning. So God has shown us all favor, but there's different levels of favor. My favor for all of them 12 plus years is, even though I did not think that what I was doing was making any type of impact, the favor on my life was that I was still able to get up and do it. You'll go through seasons of favor where can't nobody see God's favor. That type of favor is when you wake up in the morning and you have peace. When you wake up in the morning and you like, oh man, you know, I got to go to this job. I know this ain't my end all be all. So let me find something about this job today to get me through those 8 hours. That might be something as simple as you hit every green light and you get in and you get that premium parking. So now you walking into work and you like, look at God. See, that's type of favor too, because you're able to be in a situation that you know that that's not your end and you still find a reason to be happy. Then there's another level of favor. That's when God shows up and shows out. Everything that you have talked about starts coming into fruition. And this is where the problem lies, because people will reduce you once God starts showing you favor. And let's just say for me, there are certain people, I wrote 2 books. I keep saying this because anybody out there that writes understands how hard that is. 2 books, 2 months. And I still have so many people in my life that know me intimately that did not support. And it's not even about the buying. It's not even about that. It's just to even share, because that's free. But let me show you how when you get that type of favor, people will minimize it, because they'll say, man, you know, look at, man, he don't. And it irritates them because they don't understand why you. And when people don't understand something, they got to come up with conspiracy theories. They got to come up and they minimize. See, anything materialistic that I have, I earned that. That's through hard work and dedication. But when we talking about favor, when I had people talking about me like a dog and then still getting in my face and smiling, when I had people talking about me, but then they telling me what everybody else is saying, and then my question is, well, why are they comfortable telling you? And what was you saying? If y'all had an hour conversation about me, What was you saying? I had to go through all of that to get to here. And this is my message to anybody out there right now that's going through some mess. Now there's a difference, because sometimes you can go through man-made mess, and that's just decisions that you've made. You see, if you came across my videos in the last month, there was reason behind that. And a lot of times the things that I'm saying, the things that I'm speaking is stuff that you have heard before throughout the course of your life. It might be different. It might be packaged different. You might can relate to it different because I'm your age or I look like you. But here's the thing. If you heard some stuff or it reminds you of what your grandparents used to tell you or whatever, and now you're hearing it again, there's purpose for that. There's favor in that, because God has allowed you to get to whatever age that you are, and he's trying to get a message to you. And the problem is you're so focused on what it's packaged like. Because there's going to come a time that I'm going to get to where God wants me to get. And there will be a segment of people that will say, man, that's my cousin. Man, that's my boy. Oh man, I went to school with him. There's going to come that time. But in the process of that, you don't get that fanfare. And that's life. That's the pain. But that pain has a purpose, because you have to be uncomfortable to move towards your purpose. In the Bible, on Easter, everybody focused on he rolled back the stone and he got out. Not too many people talk about what he had to endure to get there, You see, when he was on the cross and had to go through all of that pain, most people that don't believe in God or say, well, he could have just got down. But guess what? If he got down, where would we be? You see, my grandfather, and I'm trying not to get emotional, my grandfather and my grandmother, they had to endure some stuff. And my grandfather used to tell me all the time how much he cared about his name. His name meant more, because he used to tell me that when he's long gone, that name lives on. And he wanted that name to mean something. I took that upon me. And taking that upon me, I endured so much. And here's the thing. He endured for me to be blessed. His pain had a purpose to get me to where I'm at. His pain opened doors for me. I'm able to speak to you because my grandmother had me when I was 4, 5, 6 years old, standing in the front of the church doing speeches. I had to remember things, and it brought her so much joy. But we come to today and I'm doing videos. They had to go through some stuff to get to where I'm going. So my kids, talking to my son last night, and I was just telling them, right, like we're talking or whatever, and I'm like, you don't understand that I had to go through some stuff so I can have the ability to explain some stuff to you. I had to be a case dummy. He's in the military. I did the military, but I'm a civilian now. So I know the pain of both sides. But when I'm telling you something, I'm not telling you something that I heard. I'm telling you something that I had to experience. I had to go through them growing pains to make the pathway easier for you. So if you don't adhere that, that's a disservice to me. See, pain has a purpose. So I'm sorry this is a long video, but this was just on my mind today. What you're going through right now and how you attack it is going to show you if pain really had a purpose. Now again, I'm telling you, I'm not talking about the type of pain that you put yourself in. Let me explain to you what type of pain that is. You find yourself in a position that people have told you over and over again, don't go left, don't go right, go straight down the middle. And you choose to do either or. Okay, well, you went left, you're going to experience this. You go this way, you're going to experience this. But if you just do what I said and go this way, yeah, you're going to experience some stuff because that's life, but you're going to make it. So you went left. Okay, now you found yourself in that situation because God brought someone to you to tell you the way. You just chose not to listen. My grandfather used to always, when I was coming up, I used to think I knew a lot. And one day we were talking and I said, hey, Papa, if God knows everything and he knows that I'm going to walk down that hallway and I'm going to trip over that skateboard, what am I to do? He already knows because he knows everything. So he already knows that I'm going to walk down there and trip over the skateboard. So I'm doomed. And he shook his head. He said, yeah, God does know everything. I told you to move that skateboard the week prior. That's a whole message right there. You see, a lot of times we look at why is things happening to us, but we don't look at the whole totality. We don't look at why we are there because somewhere along the way, someone gave you the advice on what not to do and you chose to do it. We live in a world of free will. So I'm so sorry that this is a long video, but there are so many gems in this video. Pain has a purpose, and sometimes that purpose is pain. Sometimes you have to go through some mess to move. Sometimes God got to put you in uncomfortable situations for you to move. Sometimes that friend has got to talk about you so you can move on. Sometimes family has got to not recognize you and your value in order to get you to move forward.